Hi everybody, this is Urban Sweetheart Teresa. Alright, today we're making this pork spare ribs. Alright, trying to get a little creative. I got this little thing here to hold my camera so I can do a little bit more. Alright, here we go. I have this container that I've put my spices in. We're working with a teaspoon of everything. So we did a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of cumin, 2 teaspoons of paprika, teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of ginger powder. I did a pinch of thyme because I don't like too much thyme in my stuff. I'm about to put a sprinkling of cayenne pepper. You don't have to put it if you don't want no heat. I like heat, so a sprinkling to me is a few dashes. Then I put a tablespoon of sea salt. Now normally I'd put brown sugar, but I'm out. Remember what I always tell y'all, improvise what you got. I have regular sugar, so I'm gonna put half a tablespoon of regular white sugar. I think I said this, half a tablespoon of sea salt, not a tablespoon, half a tablespoon. So half a tablespoon of sea salt, half a tablespoon of regular sugar, but if you have brown sugar, use that. Everything else was a teaspoon except the paprika. I put 2 teaspoons, a pinch of thyme, and if you want cayenne, a little heat, put your a sprinkling. So I put everything in here, and this is your dry rub. All right, mix it up very well. You can make this into a wet rub by putting some apple cider vinegar, a little bit of oil, and some Worcestershire sauce, and to make it like a wet paste, like really wet. Put enough like that, and then rub it on there. But I'm gonna put dry, because I'm gonna let this sit out for a while. All right, so you take your meat. I have a small one, about 2 pounds. Normally they have this in like a big long one with this extra piece on top, and it's pretty long. Normally I still would cut the top piece off to square it up and cut the end off, because the top piece and the end piece normally cooks faster. And by the time this big old piece here cooks and renders down, this piece and that top piece has dried out. So I would cut that off. I'd still put it in there with it, but when it's done, you can take it out. That's why I cut it off. You always want to turn the meat over and take that little skin thing off. Use a knife or a back of a fork or a spoon. Find a place to lift it up if you can find it, and you want to get it off. Paper towel normally helps too. Get it off. Of course, I'm gonna have a little bit of hard time because I'm on camera. But if I can't do it with a butter knife, I'll go get a regular knife and find where I can find it to start it. But I wanted to show y'all what it looked like, just in case you don't know what I'm talking about. It's like a little thin film. Trust me, you need to take this off the back of your meat. It's like I said, I should have started it before I got on camera. I'm trying to get it started so you can see it where I pull it up at. Normally it's like a big, it comes up in like a Like once you started with a paper towel, it normally would just peel up like a skin. Like you taking the skin off, and it would like, you just peel it off the whole edge of the meat. For some reason, I'm not easily finding it. Oh well, I'm not gonna sit here all day doing this. I'll try one more time. Because it's there, I can see it. But if you get this off, your meat will just be so much more tender. There it is, right there. Right, popped it. And I find when you use a paper towel, you can catch it and get it up quicker than if you try to use your hand. Of course, this one to give me problems today. I'm trying to show y'all on camera to get it up. Sometimes better if you try to get it down at this point, at the bottom. See what I mean? It's like a film, like a milky colored film. And if you loosen it, it just starts peeling up. And get it up. All of it off the meat. You can cut all this extra fat. I'm not going to cut it away. I like the fat to cook down in the meat. But if you have a whole heaping lot of it, you can cut it off if you want. Oh, here you go. Here's a good example of all of this that needs to be taken off. Let me see. Maybe I could get it up to show you good. You got to get under the meat. I mean, under the skin. Trying to tear it, get it loose, just so I can show y'all. And normally you have a paper towel. I don't know why this thing is trying to act like it don't want to do right. Probably because I'm on camera. Here it comes. I'll get my finger under it. Just lifting up. Gotta get this skin off. You see what I'm talking about? It's like a film. And I think when you use the paper towel, it will help it come up. You just got to keep peeling until you get all of it up. All of it will come up. You got to keep going. I'm going to pause this because I'm not going to sit here all this time. Keep doing it. Okay, I wanted to come back with the last piece that I need to get off. All right, you see what I'm trying to show y'all here? I'm going to make sure you ones that really don't know see this the thing that's like stuck to your meat. Use your paper towel or whatever, and you need to pull it. Sometimes you might have to cut it too, but use your paper towel, and it come off in stages. Sometimes you got to get your finger and get up under there to keep moving it. But it's right there. And you need to get all that off the back of your meat. Now, what some people might do too, this little thin piece of meat here, they cut this off too because it's going to cook before the rest of the meat. They would cut it and take it off. I'm not about to do that now, but you could. All right, so I got all of that mess off. Now we're going to take our rub. I'm not even going to play with it. I'm just going to use probably pretty much all of it. Take your time and massage it ain't good. You want to get down into the meat. Don't be trying to be cute with it. Make sure you get along the edge of your meat too. See how I'm getting up there? Get on the end piece. I'm going to coat every part of this meat. Get in between every piece. Lift stuff up. Like if you're washing. You got to lift pieces of your body up. You got big pieces of yourself. Wash. Get down in there. Get in there. Wash in them cracks, in between spots. And just wash on the top. Down in there. Clean. Same thing when you're doing this meat. Get down in them cracks and spots. Alright, I used all of that. So, for this piece of meat, if you're making a big whole one, like the big old one you get in the store, and I got this from ShopRite. I think it was on sale. Probably want to double that. Double everything up. If you're making it bigger than a 2 pound, just keep doubling whatever the size for 2 pounds. As you see, I used the whole thing up. And it's like just barely, so a little bit of looseness at the bottom of this pan. So I'm going to put this on there. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. You probably could put this overnight. I will put some saran wrap or something over it. Or maybe I would wrap it in saran wrap, or just put saran wrap and put it in a bowl or something. And put it in the refrigerator. I'm probably just going to let this marinate for a few hours. And I'll be back when I'm ready to put it in the oven, okay? All right, and let me see. Yeah, that's all. All right. Okay, y'all, so the meat has been sitting approximately 3 hours in the fridge. So I have it on a cookie sheet. I've preheated my oven at 275. And I'm going to put 30 minutes. I'm going to cook this for approximately 2.5 to 3 hours, probably 2 to 2.5. I'm going to check it. You can always, I'm going to show you how to check to see if your meat done. You need to put some moisture in here with it or it's going to dry out. You can use water. You can use apple juice. You can use water and vinegar. I'm going to use some root beer. I've used Coke soda. I've used 7-Up soda. I've used pineapple soda. Today I had a root beer, 12-ounce can. I'm going to use half this can to start off. Come on, can, open. Alright, pour it around the sides. About half the can. I could kind of shake it until about halfway. Put the pan in the oven. After 30 minutes, we're gonna flip that meat over. I've had it in an oven now for about 2 hours. Turned it 4 times. Remember I said every 30 minutes you want to flip it. You see how most of the juice has reduced. See how it's holding up. You can kind of tell when it's almost done because the ribs will start like bending. Just pick it up. And they'll start pulling away from the bone. You can start seeing the bone now. It's starting to bend, but it's not all the way there yet. So I'm going to put 30 more minutes. Put a little more of the mug soda in the pan. Because remember, We don't want it to dry out. You see, I don't know if y'all can see that. See that steam? It's like right in this area here. See that steam? That's what you want happening to your ribs while it's in the oven. You want it to be steaming. I'm about to put 30 more minutes. Oops. 30 more minutes and come back and look at it one more time. And it should be ready to have sauce. All right, people. So I've taken the ribs out. It's been another 30 minutes. So we're at 2.5 hours. This is what it's looking like. Okay, you see how it's bending when I pick it up? That's how you can tell it's getting there. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my sauce on, because we're about to do another 30 minutes. You can make you some homemade sauce. Not doing that today. We're going with this. Bam. Some Sweet Baby Ray's. Hickory and brown sugar. Use whatever kind you want, whatever kind you got. Sometimes I make my own from scratch. Not today. Okay. Spread this out. I'm going to spread it out a little bit better when I get off camera. But you're going to spread this out all over it. Remember, I still got soda in here, so it's not going to dry out. Some people think, oh, you putting the sauce, it's gonna dry it out. It's going to get dark on top because the sugar's going to cook down on it and just make it get burnt on the top. No, it's not. It's still got the liquid, which is steaming it. All right, so we're going to put it back in the oven for another half an hour. And I'm going to do the other side, too, when I come back. Woo. Get my thing. All right, so it's been 30 more minutes. This is how it's looking. All right, I'm going to have to turn this up, because that was 3 hours right there. We're going to turn this oven up to 350 for 30 minutes. I'm putting sauce on the back side. I need these ribs, the meat to pull away more from the bones. It's not pulled away enough for me. You see how it's still close? I need it really to pull away. Okay, we're gonna come back 30 minutes. Now I done turned the heat up, so I'm really gonna watch it. Even though I have liquid in the pan, I'm really gonna watch it and make sure nothing burns, okay? We'll be back in 30 minutes. I thought. All right, people. So it's been half an hour. You remember I raised the temp up to 350 because it wasn't pulling away from the bone fast enough for me, and that we already had hit 3 hours of slow cooking. All right, so 30 minutes at 350. This is what we at now. As you can see, that sauce and that little bit of mug root beer soda done cooked this down really good. It done made like a sauce on it. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take this out, put it on a cutting board, and slice it up at the joints. What do you mean at the joints? At each one of these bone parts. Okay, and then I'm gonna come back and show you what to do next. Okay, y'all, so I wanted y'all to see this. Now, I'm taking it, I'm cutting it at the bone. Remember I said where the bones was? You take it on an angle, and you feel where that bone is at. And you're cutting it into it. And that's why I got the tray of them. I've been cutting them at the bone. I wanted y'all to see this, just in case you didn't know what I'm talking about. We got a few more bones in there. One of the bones even came out on the end. See, the end gonna always cook faster than the other part. But that shows you how tender it is. Find it, boom, snap that bone. And we're gonna put it back in here. Put it back in there. I just want to take this piece and eat it, but I'm gonna put it back in there too. Now what we're gonna do is put the rest of this baby Ray's in here. And we're going to coat the ribs on all sides. Can y'all see this? Coat the ribs on all, turn them. Make sure you're getting sauce on all the sides, okay? Because we're going to put it back in the oven. All sides. Don't leave it like this. You say, on one side and got nothing? Do not do that. Find you some sauce from somewhere, even if you got to go crack another bottle. This is how you want it. All sides covered. Alright, we're going to put this back in the oven at 350 for 30 more minutes. But we're going to really watch it. We're really going to watch it. All we want to do is get a nice, like, crust on it now. Because it's going to start really browning up. So watch it. After every 10 minutes, check it. It might not need a whole 30. But we're just trying to get a nice brown crust on it. 350, put your timer on for 30 minutes, and you might need to turn it maybe halfway through at 15 minutes. Turn it over and get some more sauce, like soak up all the sauce that's in here. All right, people? All right, I'm going to put it in the oven now. Okay, folks, so this is after 30 more minutes in the oven, and I turned them like 3 minutes. 3 times during that period, just to keep them, make sure they didn't burn in the oven. So the bone is falling, coming out of it now. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. That's falling apart. I'm holding it up and it's about to break. That's what you want. Delicious. And trust me, with Baby Ray's sauce, everybody know about Baby Ray's, you cannot go wrong. As always, I thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, y'all.